Hey guys, it's Craig again, just giving you a quick update on my 36 Ford four-door sedan project car. As you can see, not a whole lot has changed since my last video update. Progress has slowed a little bit. We've been working on it a lot, but you know, when you first start diving into a project like this, when you get the doors off, the hood, the fenders, the radiator, you make a lot of progress really fast. You can visually see how far you've come. Now that we're actually starting to dive in, starting to do some of the repairs on the car, not as much bang for the buck, as it were, but we are making quite a bit of progress, even if it doesn't look like it at first blush. The first patch panel we've got on the car here is at the base of the A-pillar. A mouse had actually crawled in here and made a nest, and it rusted a big hole right here at the A-pillar. So we went ahead and patched that. It's not the prettiest looking patch. We still have to trim the edge here and fill in some of the weld holes, because we were running into an issue where the old sheet metal was actually burning through. So we got to go back there and patch that up, but it'll be fine. A lot better than it was. It's really solid now. The other area that we've been working on is at the back of the car. I went ahead and cleaned up all of the paint that was in the fender wells here, because we had a lot of rust through. You can see where the fender met the body, moisture got trapped in there and it rusted through. So we're going through right now and fixing all of that, and also discovered the previous owner, the old man that had the car before me, did some repairs on his own with some body filler. You can see here, not the best. And in fact, there's this kind of, it's sort of like a fiberglass material, but you'd actually use it with like patching drywall, and he used that underneath the body filler, which is not ideal. So we're actually going through and patching all of these holes here, and you can see we've got a couple pieces up here that we've put in place, welded in place, got really good penetration on those welds. You can see by the discoloration and the blistering. So those are in there, really solid. So we shouldn't have a problem there, and of course we'll just skim coat with body filler through there to make it look all nice and pretty. You won't know the difference. Looking inside, you can see the patches we did. Nothing fancy. We just laid them on here and then welded them. Pretty basic, but it'll get the job done. And we did what's known as a rosette weld. You can see these, we have two panels. One goes across here, one's on the back side. We made it in two pieces so that it would actually be easy to put in there. But we did what's called a rosette weld, where you actually drill or punch a hole, series of holes in here, and you weld through those holes to the layer below. Very good way of holding it, tack welding it in place until you can fill in with some other welds. So got it all polished up here, so that'll be good enough. You'll never see any of this. It'll obviously, the interior trim goes over there, so won't be any nicer looking than that, but it's solid, and that's all that matters. We're also working on the back end here. It had rusted through. Don't know how well you can see that. Let me see if I can get under here. It had rusted through here pretty bad, so we're going through and patching that up as well. Coming along to the driver's side of the car, same story. But it was actually, the fender well was rusted out a lot worse. On the passenger side, we filled it in from about here to here at the top of the fender well, but this one was rusted all the way through to the front. So what we did, we made a strip of metal that we were able to match the contour of the body with, and then weld that in place, and that filled up quite nicely. And again, we got to use the body filler to make that all slick, but that shouldn't be a problem. Moving along to the interior, obviously needs some floorboards, but that'll probably be one of the latter things we do here of the sheet metal work, because it's generally pretty easy. It's all, for the most part, flat or some right angles, so that shouldn't be too difficult to do relative to some of the other parts we're working on. And one of the most challenging we've actually started on for the driver's side here. As you can see, the rocker panels are pretty much gone, rusted through entirely. So what we did, we were able to actually bend up, and through brute force using a hammer, able to bend up a new one here. Took a few hours to do, but it's pretty rewarding, pretty satisfying getting that done. Didn't have to go out and buy one. We made a die. I can show you. It's a pretty complicated part, in fact, because it varies in thickness along the length of it, and there's actually a curve on each side that are different. So kind of a challenging piece to make, but what we had, we made this part here get these out of the way. This two-part mold that we were able to hammer to, bend the sheet metal to fit, and you can see it kind of matches the curves of the finished part. So we were able to beat the metal into shape around that, and then using these little clamps work along to get that rolled edge up that we have on the part so it matches the original. So a few hours of hammering and manual labor, but we've got a nice filler piece that'll work hopefully really well on the rocker panels. So that's about it for now. I invite you to check back again in the future. I'll be giving you some more video updates on my car. Again, 36 Ford 4-door sedan. So bye for now.